One, the time here is 11 o'clock, December 12, 2020. I would like to thank everyone who greeted me a pleasant happy birthday to Wilhelmina, and thank you very much that my digital friends around the globe, they send me a birthday greeting for today. As you know that we are about to end 2020. This is an update. Remember 2019, I warned everyone that 2020, the price of gold will rise up. However, in 2020, the price of gold, it fluctuates ups and down, just like a swing high and low. Recently, I had met a lot of dodgy buyer. Dodgy buyer means liars. Buyers are liars. They are manipulator. They are deceitful. But I'm not going to mention those dodgy buyers so that they would not be embarrassed on this live. Now recently, we have tons of gold transit, and I was been dealing with dodgy buyers and pretending to be a buyer. But this dodgy buyer from Dubai, and I know the refinery, and I just called the refinery yesterday. And this dodgy buyer, he is from Maldives, but his accent is bloody Indians. And he said he is a buyer. So I provided him vital information that yes, we do have tons of gold. And he sent me a voice. He said he doesn't believe on bullshit. And he gave me the name of the refinery, which I know the refinery. That gentleman who owned the refinery, he signed a contract with us 2012 in Ghana, and this refinery that I'm talking to, he didn't perform. And his broker, he come to me that they are buying whatever we have. And I told him that yes, we do have gold in Bamako, Mali, Conakry, and Sierra Leone. In Bamako, Mali, we have tons of gold. And I offered the 1 ton of gold supposed to be delivered in Barcelona, but the buyer has a coronavirus. And this Maldives buyer, if I mention his name, he will gonna be embarrassed, but I will refrain mentioning the name. But I would like to share to everyone, because believe me guys, you would never get gold from us if you're bullshitting. Believe me 100%. This guy sent me a voice and he said he doesn't believe in bullshit. So I responded his voice message on WhatsApp. Most of the devious buyer using WhatsApp because WhatsApp is encrypted. And they don't want to open their camera. They're scared. And this dodgy buyer, they're scared to open their camera. Why are they gonna be scared for? Well, Amina is here. We are transparent. We are real. We are not bullshitting. So this bullshit Maldives buyer, but his accent is bloody Indian. And if I mention his name, believe me, he's gonna be embarrassed. But I will not mention his name so that he would not be embarrassed. But everybody knows me, so please do not say anything about Africa. Africa can feed the world. Yes, there's so many cheap offer. I can understand that. The seller is hungry to sell. You bullshit buyer and dodgy buyer, you grab the opportunity because your eyes is bigger than $1 and you want a handsome profit. Don't you know that gold can make into $1, $2? Don't you know that gold can make into necklace? So gold has many uses. Gold is commodity. Gold is money. Gold has many uses. Either gold can make into false teeth. Either gold can make into jewelry box. Either gold can make into gold volume or false teeth or industrial. Right. So I'm sharing here because I'm going to expose this Dudgy buyer. I am exposing, I am cleaning the dirty Dudgy buyer travel to Africa, asking for cheap price, asking for CIF, asking for SBLC. You don't have the cash. You don't. You have a deficiency of cash flow. Dubai is a hub. Dubai is a transit of all illegal activities. Dubai is a transit of smuggler. Most you guys, you open a company in Dubai. Dubai is a beautiful country, but you tarnish Dubai. Yeah, I know because I was in Dubai. There's so many joker buyer in Dubai. So many asking for CIF, asking for LCs, asking for escrow. Because Dubai is a tax heaven. So I'm sorry. I'm not going to deal with the Dudgy buyer. I am exposing through the digital social media. Now, as I've said to you a few minutes ago, this buyer that who sent me a bullshit voice, I am answering to this buyer. And he sent me his information that he is an importer and sent it to Dubai, name the refinery. When I look at on the website of refinery, I know the refinery. I know the owner. I know it. And this the joker Dudgy buyer, right? Two of them. He said, oh, we can buy anything. We can buy 50 kilos. 50 kilos, 2,600,000. He doesn't have 2,600,000. And I did offer him to start a trial. And he said he can buy 1 ton, but he doesn't have money. He cannot afford. He cannot afford. I'm sorry, guys. If you are playing games with African seller hired Walamina. We have tons of gold. I know African. I've been to Africa. African can be nasty to you if you are nasty. But when I was in Africa, I was treated like a queen because I am the mandate of the seller. I am the one who handles sales and marketing through digital marketing advertisement on YouTube and on Facebook. Facebook is the best site. I purchased this blood pressure through Facebook. I purchased this interpreter, language interpreter, for me to be used in Mali and in Conakry and in Sierra Leone. But Conakry people speak English, my seller speak English, but the local people didn't go to school, of course. They speak their own local language. I can use this. And also in Mali. And you, Dudgy buyer, you are asking, bring the gold to Dubai, and we will pay you after final asset. To me, you are Dudgy. Yes, Dudgy means you're a crook. Dudgy means you're a scammer. You're asking CIF cost, insurance, and freight only. You cannot afford to pay the gold. That is normal. You have to pay the shipping cost. That is normal. You have to pay insurance. Before you pay the shipping cost and insurance, you have to pay the products. Huh? I ordered this one. I paid in advance. I don't have any issue. Yeah? I purchased this one on Facebook in advance. I don't have any issue. Yeah? And I purchased this one recently because I'm going to send a gift to my loved ones in overseas. I paid in advance. I saw this advertisement on Facebook. I don't have any problem. But you, Dudgy buyer, You come to my digital online office. You're asking tons of gold, but you cannot afford to pay. You're asking for escrow, LC, BLC, CIF. To me, you're a dodgy. Unfortunately, we cannot do business with you, dodgy buyer. Now, this is an update. I'm sharing with you the wonton has been sold, cash bank to bank. It was been sold cash bank to a real buyer. A real buyer doesn't talk too much. Only dodgy buyer talk too much. Now, Mr. Dodgy buyer, if you're watching me, I'm not going to mention your name so that you will not be embarrassed, because if I mention your name, everybody would know you. Now, this is in general. To all dodgy buyer, I know you are in Dubai, open your company, and you're hungry of gold. You cannot function your business if you don't have the capital. You cannot function your business if you don't have cash flow. Now the wontons has been sold, cash bank to bank, and it was been delivered yesterday. The gold was transit in Nairobi. The gold has been sold. We have still enough tons of gold. We have tons of gold in Conakry, and we have tons of gold in Mali, and we have tons of gold in Sierra Leone. The problem with you, dodgy buyer, you cannot afford to pay the gold you're asking for CIF to pay taxes. We don't ask you to pay taxes. We don't. You have to pay the gold plus shipping cost plus insurance. That is normal. You have to pay the product plus the value added tax. That is normal. If you cannot afford, please, dodgy buyer, get out on this business. There's so many dodgy buyer went to Sierra Leone, an Indian. He said he's going to buy diamond. When he arrived in Sierra Leone and we give him the visa, he was window shopping. And what happened? He was being trapped. He returned to India empty-handed. He's a dodgy buyer. He said he can afford to buy diamond. And we issued the landing visa. My seller issued him the landing visa. And he's very clever Indian. He thinks he can get the diamond without KPC. You will never get the diamond without KPC that you have paid the diamond to an exporter's office, because the Department of Mines will not issue the Kimberley certificate that diamond is free of blood diamond. So, another dodgy buyer. Then another dodgy Pakistani. He is in Sierra Leone. He opened his office. And he was dealing with joker broker on digital platform. This is a digital platform. We are now on the modern digital selling commodities or selling anything. This is digital that I purchased through digital marketing. I purchased this blood pressure through digital marketing. I purchased this language interpreter through digital advertisement through Facebook. Facebook is the best site. There are 6.6 billion followers on Facebook. There's 6.6 billion followers on YouTube. We are now on digital platform. You can buy anything. Why Amazon is on digital? Everybody sell the item through social media. But most of the broker joker also using digital platform. Another joker broker from United Kingdom. Jason, if you're watching me and you said that you don't believe on internet, but you are on the internet. You've been floating around and running around on behalf of your buyer. And when I interview you on WhatsApp, you don't even open your camera. So I am exposing this dodgy people, because you are the one who ruined Africa. That is why African also making a revenge to you guys. I can understand the anger of African. There is notorious African. There are two kinds of African, good one and bad one. There are also two kinds of people in this world. There are also good and bad one. If you are bad, I can guarantee you're gonna be chopped in Africa. I can guarantee you're gonna be kidnapped. If you are very nasty to African, you're scared to deal with the African because your mentality is devious. I am not African, but I love Africa. My seller hired Wilhelmina because I've been in marketing for bloody 36 years. Buying and selling exactly the same, you have to pay for it. I was talking to one Kenyan real estate agent. He was introducing me to his network of buyers. They're all Dudgy as well. And I told this gentleman, a good friend of mine, I said to him, you are in real estate in Kenya. When your customer wants to buy a house in Kenya, you have to interview your buyer, isn't it? You're going to ask your buyer, does he has money to pay the property, to pay a house? Because you cannot live without a roof over your head. This is what I have said to a friend of mine because I used to be in real estate. And he said to me, Wilhelmina, you're right. And I said to him, don't believe in Dudgy buyer. Don't believe. I don't believe. A minute you cannot give me the answer to my question, a minute I start to wonder. You're just like applying for a job. You have to sell yourself what you can offer. Buying gold, exactly the same. You have to tell Wilhelmina, I've been searching for gold for bloody many months on 1 year or 2 years. I haven't seen a person like you do. Yes, I am very tough. Yes, I am very brutal. I done it purposely. Those joker broker hates my guts. That is not my problem. That is your problem, guys. Because to me, you're a Dudgy. Why are you gonna hate my guts for? Why? I am not here to scam you. I was being scammed in Ghana, but I have to move on. I learned from it. You Dudgy buyer, you're also a scammer, asking CIF. I was scammed in Ghana by a buyer. Salwan Kanwar, he cannot afford to pay the gold. He only pay taxes 17,000. He's also a scammer. He cannot afford to pay the 250,000. Eric Blasco is also a scammer. He cannot afford to pay the ASI gold on 50 kilos in AR logistic during the time. I brought him in Ghana. He's also a Dudgy. So you guys, Jason, Kyla from Dubai, you're also Dudgy. So guys, do not muck around with African. Do not. Africa can feed the world. Africa is the main source of supply. Why Chinese are there? Why? When I was in Africa, I stayed at a hotel owned by Chinese. Why Australian mining company is in Africa? Why Canadian mining company is in Africa? Why Russian mining company is in Africa? Why? Italian mining company is in Africa. Chinese, Singaporean, American, they travel to Africa to find source of supply, gold and rough diamond, coffee, cashews, and so forth. So guys, I'm sorry. I have to expose your dirty tricks asking CIF. We are now almost end 2020 with this Antonio Carlos Vargas. I never done deal with you, Mrs. Ford, but I admire you since the market is full of scammers, correct? We need to clean the market from these people. I agree on you, Antonio. I just had a conference with Dudgy buyer. That's the reason why I'm live. Because I am cleaning this Dudgy buyer asking CIF. asking LC, asking escrow, asking SBLC. This kind of people is scammer. They don't have the cash. Yesterday, we closed 1 ton of gold, cash, bank to bank. A real buyer doesn't talk too much. Only bullshit buyer talk too much. Now, Mr. Buyer, if you're watching me, don't be scared with Wilhelmina. I am here with you. I am guiding you step by step. Now, I'm not going to send any FCO. The FCO is in front of you. Every video from YouTube to Facebook, the full corporate offer is very, very extensive. You click on the link. Take time, Mr. Buyer. Don't rush. I want you to digest. Read properly and listen to video. Digest it. When you are ready, you come back to Wilhelmina. Because when you come back to Wilhelmina, I want you to open your camera. I want to interview you. You already seen Wilhelmina. Wilhelmina is not scared to open her camera. Wilhelmina is not scared to show her face because we are transparent. My seller hired Wilhelmina. I'm a gatekeeper. I have the power to say yes or no. And I have the power to reject you. I had an interview, the buyer from Dubai. He sent me his business passport, his business registration, and importation license. When I asked him, I want to see your financial statement that you have $1 million. He sent me a Dudgy bank statement. When I verify it, it's a fake. It's a fake. And when I asked this Dudgy buyer open his camera, he has so many alibi. I rejected him. I said to my head office, this buyer is very dangerous. Last night, I also had a conference with the Dudgy buyer in Dubai. He said he can afford to pay 50 kilos. And I told him we have 1 ton of gold transit. But this transit has already been sold and it's already been delivered by air cargo. I'm just only sharing you here. Do not muck around with us. I am here to clean all the Dudgy buyer asking CIF they don't believe on Africa. Don't come to Africa. Don't buy if you don't believe it. Don't be in business if you don't have cash. Don't be in business. I do understand there's so many buyers has been scammed. Why? Because you're all stupid. You're asking cheap price. There are so many sellers offer you 35, 40, 45. That is only gross. The seller didn't tell you what are the necessary requirements you're gonna need. He wouldn't tell you that. He wouldn't tell you how much is the value added tax. He wouldn't tell you that there is a royalty. He wouldn't tell you that there is shipping cost, charges 1% of shipping cost, 1% on insurance. He wouldn't tell you that. Wilhelmina will tell you that. Our selling price is LME. Our selling price is 5%. When I travel with you, I do charge my extra service. Take it or leave it. You can have the gold. If you cannot afford, don't be bothered. Well, when Wilhelmina will travel with you, I will give you 3% instead, in total of 8%. Our selling price is LME. I'm very kind and generous. I would know whether I could give you a very good deal price because I have the power to negotiate on your behalf. I have the power to request my head office. Let's make this buyer happy. But Mr. Buyer, if you're watching me, Antonio, if you're watching me, please pay attention as well and read the full corporate, Antonio. On every link, click it, watch the video, and digest it properly. Then when you are ready, you come back. Because this gold, Antonio, is not for credit. It's not CIF. If someone offer you, Antonio Vargas, pay taxes, don't grab it. You will never get gold out of the country. Never. There's a lot of buyers paying taxes and the gold didn't come. Whose problem is that? The buyer. The buyer has no money. He's going to leverage, he's going to smuggle it. The Department of Mines is very, very strict. You will never get gold if you don't pay the gold. Paying taxes meaning to say you are going to leverage, you're going to launder. You can only afford to pay shipping cost or insurance, but how about paying the gold? How about gold is money you're buying to make money, and you don't have the money, you can only afford to pay taxes. Therefore, to me, you are not a businessman. Because if I am a businessman or a businesswoman, I would not say I will pay taxes. I am paying the gold plus I have to pay the tax because the seller is going to charge me being a buyer, assuming I am the buyer. I'll come to Africa. I'm using myself as an example. I'm looking to buy diamond. I will inspect the diamond. When I like it, then the seller said, okay, well, Amina, this is the diamond, this is nice carats, you have to pay for it. So I have to make a down payment in order the seller to pay the taxes, in order the seller to pay the royalty. So the balance you have to pay bank to bank. You have to pay down payment after inspection of the stone. We're talking about diamond. I just been to Africa February this year and last year. So if you're gonna buy gold, exactly the same. You inspect the gold in the office of the seller. Then when you like it, then that is the time we will assay the gold to the refiner. There is a cost of $100 per kilo. Before you're gonna travel, Wilhelmina will ask you, Mr. Buyer, your business registration, importation license, your passport copy, and your financial statement. If you cannot afford to show that, meaning to say you don't have the cash, you're asking credit. I'm sorry, there is no credit. Gold is money. There is no CIF. That is normal. You have to pay the cost, insurance, and freight. That is normal. The gold has to be paid in order for the seller to declare to his government. If you are Dudgy, the government is losing income. That is why in Ghana, they punish small miners, because small miner also trying to smuggle it. They evade taxes because they're also greedy. Both buyers and sellers are greedy. I am going to expose these dirty tricks of the smuggler. They are a smuggler asking CIF, they are a smuggler. They cannot afford. Why are you going to smuggle for? If you have the money, you pay for it, so that you will get the asset report, export documentation, the ownership, that the gold is free of illegal activities, custom clearance. Without custom clearance, you will never, never get the gold out of the country. What happened? You're going to be burned out. Your pocket will be burned out. And also you're going to be burned out staying in Africa. Very, very expensive. So, why are you going to fly to Africa if you don't have the money? Just like this bloody Indian. We give him the visa. And then when he arrived in Freetown, he didn't call my seller. What a smart ass, this bloody Indian. Then my head office said, well, Amina, the buyer is already here, and he has been window shopping. I said, really? So I called this Indian. I said, oh, you're already on Freetown, and I thought you have the money to buy the stone, and you've been window shopping. What happened? He didn't get the stone. He wanted to ask the seller to give it to him for credit. He returned to India empty-handed. And my seller says, you can block this man. I talked to Hites, what's going on with you? He's a bloody Indian. We give him the visa, and you know how much the visa? It's $100 to apply. And this Indian is a dodgy. That is the reason why I'm exposing you guys. I'm exposing 2020. I told you that. I warn you, everybody. 2021, there would be no dodgy broker, dodgy buyer. All our information is on digital. If you don't read, to me, you are not a buyer. Don't be involved in this industry. We are only dealing with the buyer that have this. You know what my seller was saying to me? Thank you, madam, that you are with us. I said to my seller, you were being abused by a foreigner. The foreigner come to you, they are scared, they are manipulating your products. You are rich in natural resources. That is why the country is a slow progress, because there are foreigners who come to Africa is stealing their African wealth. African is rich, yes. There's so many scammers in Africa, yes. The meaning of scammer means he will lie to you. He will offer you cheap price. A scammer means he will deceive you, because that seller is also hungry, and you as the buyer also hungry. So there's a saying, the seller is hungry to sell, and you are hungry to buy, and Wilhelmina is also hungry to service you. Three of us is hungry. But even though I'm hungry, I am guiding you properly. I am not scamming you. I am teaching you in a proper way. Because you're hungry to buy, I'm hungry to help you. So I am feeding you this information to be fed to you. So you are hungry, I am hungry to service you. So I hope you understand my explanation here, Mr. Dudgy Baya. So unfortunately, we sold 1 ton of gold. I have the file, and we don't show to any joker broker or joker buyer proof. Well, you have to show me the proof first. The proof is already in front of you. I uploaded recently 1 ton of gold sold cash bank to bank. I uploaded that we have the buyer from United Kingdom. He's traveling. We issued the visa. He's traveling to Conakry, Guinea. By the way, Mr. Buyer, to apply the visa is $100. But we give you for free. But don't muck around, because if I found out that you're mucking around, I'm going to expose your name. You must remember, I am the gatekeeper. You must remember, I will gather your information. If you don't give me the information, you will never get gold from us. You can deal with anybody. Good luck to you. There was a buyer from Madrid. He's a buyer's mandate. We sent him a letter. He said he's going to buy 1 ton. When he received the letter, his name is Javier, he was offered to travel to Cameroon. $40,000. And I said to Javier, Cameroon's taxes is 17%. How do I know? I called the Department of Mines in Cameroon 3 years ago. Because the seller are saying to the foreigner, you have to have a CMAC license. There is no CMAC license, according to the Department of Mines. The Department of Mines was telling me the seller must have an export license. The seller must have a CMAC license, not the buyer. The exporter has to sell it. I'm using it myself. You, Mr. Buyer, you are a buyer, or I'm going to be reverse. I am the exporter and you are the buyer. Okay? And Mr. A is the government. So as being a seller, I have to remit the 17% valued added tax. And I have to pay the royalty to my country. Assuming I'm African, I'm not African. I'm Australian. I was born in the Philippines, so I'm not African. So don't worry about my color. I am not African. So, as I said, I'm using myself now as a seller. Mr. A is the government. And you, Mr. Dudgy Buyer, you're buying gold from the seller. I'm using myself as a seller. So, I'm going to tell you, Mr. Dudgy Buyer, that this is my price. The gentleman from Madrid was offered 40,000. But he was not being told the tax is 17%. As today's price, today's Saturday, The price of gold is fluctuate. Whatever the world market price times 17%, which is $7,600 per kilo in Cameroon. Cameroon is plenty of gold, yeah? But every country has a different procedure of valued added tax. In every country, there's always a procedure that the seller will remit the royalty to his government in order to use that infrastructure. But you, Mr. Dudgy buyer, you are evading as well because your eyes is bigger than a dollar. So you're scared with Wilhelmina, and then you're bullshitting with Wilhelmina. I'm sorry, I'm not a bullshit. I was just answering Kahil on voice. Mr. Kahil, I'm not bullshitting. We just recently sold 1 ton to a real buyer. He doesn't have 2,650,000 kilos. He doesn't have. Those buyer using WhatsApp, it's okay. WhatsApp is fine. WhatsApp is an encrypted. Most of the joker buyer and joker broker, they're scared to open their camera. Why are you gonna be scared for? Why? I am here. I am here to help you, Mr. Dudgy buyer. I am here. So I just inform you and update you that bank now, don't be a dudgy. If you want to buy, be transparent. I am here with you. And I am going to guide you properly, but my services is no longer for free. You're watching Wilhelmina. At the moment, it's free. I am putting everything on digital platform. Everything. If you read it, you digest it, I can guarantee you're a winner. But if you're bullshitting to Wilhelmina, I can guarantee you're a failure. I'm sorry if my language is like this, because I just finished talking to Dudgy buyer. That's why I'm live. I am just updating. We sold the 1 ton. People say, oh, I don't believe that your seller has 1 ton. You don't know my seller. And I don't know you. I want you to prove it to me. Because I can prove it. I can prove it to you. Those Dudgy buyer asking SKR. No, we don't give you SKR. Unless I would know your financial status. Why should I give you the SKR? And then you're going to use the SKR to float around, and then you're going to resell the SKR. You're going to ask money upfront to those buyers because you have the SKR. It happened. We don't even give the SKR at all. Mr. Dudgy buyer, be truthful to Wilhelmina. I will not call you Dudgy if you are transparent. I will only call a buyer who is Dudgy if he is bullshitting. I'm sorry if I'm saying this because I will do it in a proper way. I'm going to teach you. You are going to ruin yourself if you are dodgy. You don't have the cash. You are pretending to be a buyer, but you don't have the cash. You are going to resell the gold to the refinery. This Mr. Kyle, he gave me the refinery name, which I know. That's why I'm mentioning his name, because he sent me a bullshit message. I respond his message. And I told him, I know the refinery. And the refinery didn't perform the owner. He signed a contract with us, 2012. I have the contract on his passport. I turned it down, and then he sent me a message. He said, bullshit. I said, no, we're not bullshitting here. The 1 ton has already been sold. And he cannot even show his business registration. I said, I've given him the information already. I'm testing him, but he's a dodgy. The gold is transit. I give him all the information, but he in return he said it's dodgy. He's a dodgy man. The 1 ton has already been sold, Mr. Dodgy. Now, Mr. Buyer, if you want tons of gold, we do have. I have the link in front of you. Click it. Don't say anything that dodgy, because we are not a dodgy here. We're not. We are real. We are real. I can guarantee you, I will take you to Africa. I can take you to Conakry. I will take you to Mali. I will take you to Sierra Leone. But before I'm going to take you to Africa, can you afford to pay the item? Can you? Can you afford to pay Wilhelmina travel cost to accompany you so that you will not be duped? Can you? You have been duped before. That is why. Why you have been duped? You're asking cheap price. I have a transaction successful. I don't have any issue at all. I don't have, because Wilhelmina knows how to negotiate on your behalf, Mr. Buyer. And Wilhelmina knows his seller. My seller was asking me, Wilhelmina, are you with the buyer or are you with us? I said, both. I am with the buyer and the seller, so that the buyer can come back and have a repeat order. I just meet the white guy. My goodness, I meet him in Africa. He's also a Dudgy. But I will not mention his name. Most of you guys, you don't like Wilhelmina, really. Everybody knows Wilhelmina. Why? I done it purposely. I'm very blunt and I'm very brutal. Why? I feel sorry for this African seller. I feel sorry. I went to the mines, and this African seller, they dig gold. The mines, because their country is huge deposit of gold, but they mine by manual. They dig. They want to improve their lifestyle, but you as a foreigner like me, I am not going to rip off Africa. I am not going to tolerate foreigner to rip off my seller. Fair is fair. I will give you the discount. I will help you to negotiate, but you have to be fair. Okay, you have to be fair, Mr. Buyer. Now, we have still tons of gold. Which one you like, Mr. Buyer? Conakry, Bamako, Mali, or Sierra Leone? Listen very carefully on this video, Mr. Buyer. Listen very carefully. The full corporate offer is on this link. I want you to take time. Don't rush. Don't be excited, because I'm not excited to meet you at all. I'm not. Don't be excited, as I've said many times on my video. Take time to read and digest it. When you're ready, you need to tell Wilhelmina, I'm ready to buy gold and diamond. I'm ready. Then my question is, okay, how many quantity you need to buy gold? 1 kilo. No, thank you. We're not interested. Our minimum is 10 to 20. We don't sell 1 kilo, 2 kilos anymore. Used to be, I allow the buyer to buy 2 kilos, not anymore. It's not worth it for you. You don't have any profit at all. You're just wasting your time traveling. You're just wasting your time. Okay? So I think, Mr. Buyer, I already explained to you an update. September 19, we delivered 200 kilos in Dubai. Yesterday, the plane leave with 1,000 kilos. Yeah? And I have another buyer arriving in Conakry. We have tons of gold, Mr. Buyer. Just go on my digital virtual office. What you see, what you get. So, if you keep on saying, oh, send me this, send me that, I wouldn't believe you. So, therefore, you're not trading properly. You're not. How many people I have rejected 2011? Thousands of them. They're all jokers. And when they're gonna be rejected, they blog me as a scammer. I don't know how much I scam them. Yeah, just like this lady from South Africa. She came to me on my page and she attacked me. I also blog her. So she copied my passport. She copied my information on my page. Yeah, she copied and she put nasty. And I also put her on my YouTube that this lady, the name of Winka Dore from South Africa, she's a dudgy. She's a scammer. You know what's the meaning of scam, Mr. Buyer? I will give you the meaning of the scammer. Liar, manipulator. I don't lie. I don't manipulate. I don't deceive you. I'm telling you here. So which one you like, Mr. Buyer? Dealing with the dodgy seller or dealing with the real seller? Yeah? The real buyer, Mr. Buyer, dodgy buyer would not talk too much. Only dodgy buyer talk bullshit, talk too much. Dodgy broker talk bullshit. Dodgy buyer talk bullshit. The real buyer would not talk bullshit. Why? Because he's hungry to buy. He needs the supply. He has the cash. So thank you very much, Mr. Buyer. I wish you Merry Christmas. Remember, there is a prediction on 2021. The gold will turn to 2,500 per ounce. Use your calculator, multiply that with 32.15. In dollar terms is 80,375. Do you have that money on 2021? You must remember, we're almost end of 2020. December, today is December. So how many weeks more? 2.5 weeks. Be January. So why not plan now, Mr. Buyer? Book your trip. Come with Wilhelmina. Don't be scared with Wilhelmina. Okay, Albany. Oh, you know me well. I met you in Conakry, remember? I knew you well. Yes, you know me. I just sold 1 ton. Yeah. Just a moment. I'm gonna close this Albany. Okay, just there. Okay. I'll just, you know, different Albany. Okay. You know me because you've been following my digital platform. Yeah, you know me. So, I hope you understand na Albany on this video. Keep learning, because gold business is a lucrative business. We want to deal a real buyer, not a dodgy buyer, not a dodgy broker. If you're a broker, learn out of this video. Read, click on every link. You are a winner. You are learning from University of Hard Knocks. Wilhelmina, at the same time, he is teaching you to be transparent. I am not teaching you to be crooked because gold business is cash business. All right, so thank you, Antonio Carlos Vargas. Thank you very much for listening to my video and watching. And after this video, please take time. Don't rush. Don't rush. If someone offer you cheap price, Antonio, think about it. Gold is not cheap. The value of gold today is almost $60,000. Almost. So think about it. So may I read on Antonio's comment on Facebook? This is live on Facebook. According to Antonio, I never done a deal with you, Mrs. Wilhelmina Ford, but I admire you since the market is full of scammers. We need to clean market from these people. Correct. I am cleaning. That's why I'm live. I was not live for 3 weeks. I wasn't because I was busy screening buyers. Now, you're right. I am cleaning this scammer dodgy buyer. I am. 2020, 2021. This is a warning to everyone. If you watch this video would be uploaded on my YouTube channel as well. So those YouTube channel subscriber, please take advantage while the gold is not high at the moment. Gold is down, so think about it. Bank now. Then when the gold is high, that's the time you sell it. This is the secret. I'll give you my background, Antonio. Antonio is with me here. I used to be in real estate. I sell funeral arrangement. I sell real estate. I sell mobile phone. I've been in marketing for 36 years, buying and selling exactly the same. I was the one who introduced this. I was the one. After my trip in Africa, I saw my 2 eyes that foreigners are ripping off African. Yes? And I saw my 2 eyes that seller also ripping off foreigner. Both are ripping them off each other. That is why I have a difficulty in understanding why this foreigner traveled to Africa, and then they're gonna say, oh, I was being scammed. That is your problem why you were being scammed. You were asking cheap price. Yes? When I sit down with my seller, when I was in Ghana 2013, what is the cost? Why this foreigner has been scammed? They told me, Madam, this buyer asking cheap price, we sell cheap price. We didn't tell them that there is charges. I told the seller in Ghana, you should not do that. You shouldn't. You have to tell your buyer, this is what I have done when I was in Ghana. This is what you have to tell your buyer. This is my price. Which one you like? You pay the premium or you're going to be cheated. This is what I have explained to the seller, because the seller is the villagers. They are hungry. This is my price. The sell price. You're a foreigner. You don't have a license to carry. Sometimes the seller will call the police that you steal their gold because you don't have a license to carry. Yeah. So the seller has to have a license to sell it to you. That's why I'm asking you if you have a business registration in your country of origin, your importation license. Because when you import the gold to your country, you're going to be blocked by custom. They will open the metal box. Where is your importation license? And if you don't have importation license, you're going to be accused as a smuggler. So you need to plan properly when you buy gold. Most of the Dudgy buyer, especially Indian, they go to Africa, they want to get a profit, but they don't have a license to carry. What happened? They're gonna be trapped into disaster. So, Mr. Buyer, this video is really for you. Don't be scared with Walamina. I am not here to frighten you. I am here to teach you not to be duped. Because you have been duped before, I'm sure 100%. You have been duped. There's so many foreigner has been duped. How many percent that foreigner has been duped? 95%. They think they go to Africa, they can buy $25,000, $30,000. Good luck, guys. Good luck. Good luck. Our selling price is not 25. It's not $30,000. It's not $40,000. That $40,000 is only 18 carats. We are selling 23 carats here. We're selling unrefined. So don't be confused, Mr. Buyer. You're looking for 24 carats. No, you will get only 24 carats when you refine it. When you make into different uses and you put a little bit of lead to be stronger. Even 91% of gold can make into gold bullion. So don't trick yourself. Because I know your trick. I sold gold to already, Mr. Buyer. So don't trick yourself. I will stop your dirty tricks. Do it properly. Then you will not stumble. And if you're crooked, I can guarantee you, you're gonna trap into disaster. Just like when you're driving a car on the main road. If you're drunk, the car is like this, what happened? You made an accident. Buying gold, exactly the same. I hope you understand my logic here. I would like to say my last word, Mr. Buyer. He who has the gold makes the rules. The government is making the rules, not you. You're making the rules because you don't have the cash. You're asking cheap price. You're asking SBLC. You're asking CIF. We don't follow your rules. You follow the golden rules of the country where the gold and diamond came from. Thank you very much, Mr. Buyer. Antonio, may I say something? It's already 1 o'clock here in Australia. Alabani, thank you for watching. It's already 1 o'clock in Australia. Okay? Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good morning and good evening to you guys, or good afternoon in your end.